Price of Fame.
And welcome to the Price of Fame,
where we talk about fashion, art, music,
and entertainment.
I am Savage Rogers.
I'm Mike Vegas.
And we're in the building once again. We're back in the building.
We're
going to stay in the building. 35? What episode? I don't know. We going crazy.
No, I think it's like episode 7, right?
Okay. Yeah, it's got to be.
Episode 7.
we've been going crazy. Second season.
Hard work, man.
Yeah.
Work hard. Right?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? What's up? How's everything?
Everything's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Been watching that Diddy trial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to definitely have to talk about that on another episode.
I think he might have been the last person. I don't know. I mean, who do you think the last person to make a large amount of money off music business before streaming?
Before streaming?
Yeah, before streaming. Because I remember when I was at the record companies, that's when streaming started coming in with.
Yeah.
Well, not even, was Napster. Pirating came in. A whole nother level of pirating came in with Napster and all these other platforms. But
oh no, the last big person.
Cash Money.
I was gonna say Cash Money, Master P or Cash Money. No limit.
Before Master P got a large chunk of money before streaming was even.
No, that's what I mean.
Before
before it was thought about. But Cash Money did both. Cash Money had the hard copy sales.
Yeah.
And then they kind of transitioned with Nicki, Drake, Wayne. They kind of transitioned into the.
They came in at the streaming level, but Drake, who's
Soulja Boy.
He was the one who really, really capitalized on the streaming.
Yeah, Soulja Boy is the one who put everybody on the YouTube.
Yeah.
He put when he say Soulja Boy did it first, people laugh at him.
Yeah.
But Soulja Boy did a lot of things first.
I don't think people respected him for some reason. I don't know why.
It was the type of music he was making at the time. It's because we was in a more serious,
But that was for his generation. He wasn't making music for us.
But it was for his generation.
You got to respect the times.
But it wasn't the masses then, so people pushed back against it because they were like, "What is this?" You know what I mean? They're like, "He's dumbing the music business down."
I remember when I used to have to go pick up the sound scan for my brother.
Yeah,
and the sound scan was like
a book,
thick,
a booklet,
almost a book's thickness, and you used to go through the pages, you see 500,000 this week, 200,000 the first week, 300,000 the first week, and then every week you'll see 200,000, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, 200,000, 700,000. Each artist, and you'll see from country to jazz to rap, you'll see the whole, breakdown of who was selling what and when. And all of a sudden, it got thinner and thinner and thinner, and then people started getting fired. Companies started getting swallowed up by bigger companies, and it was at a point where it was a lot of people scared. Like, we thought the music business was over.
Right.
And
it transitioned.
Yeah, it transitioned.
Yeah, but
because then 360 deals came in and play.
But the money definitely got less. I would say.
For who though?
For the artist, I would say, not for the record company.
Not for the record company.
Nah, not for the record company.
They figured out a way to still make money, and I respect that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm kind of like, for the artist and for the record company, I could kind of respect both.
Right.
I understand the artist wants to make money, but if I put like $3-4 million to market and promote you, I need to get my money back and some.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, you got to be fair.
Right, you got to be fair.
I'm the one who's out there on the road. I'm the one who's, singing, rapping, writing, and doing whatever I got to do to make sure you make money. So it got to be kind of a balance. So when 360 deals came in, I understood. There's no more record sales. We put a lot of money into you. How do we get our money back?
Right. Off of everything you do.
There's no more record sales.
So everything you do, we need a piece of it.
It was like, how much was it before when record sales, Paul?
Was it 2 cents? 3 cents a record?
Fix your mic, Paul.
What was it? You mean per record? Like
It was
Like
per
how-
record, per
like-
record sale. So if you get a percentage of a record, so they weren't getting that many records.
right.
I mean, they weren't making that much money off of each record.
Right, off of
You know,
off
each
of record
sold.
sale. Right.
So if a record was sold for like what, $15?
Yeah, it would
Let's
be
get-
like between one and $2 a change. Yep.
Yeah, it was,
If
right.
that, if you're lucky.
It just depends on
You know what I'm saying?
depends on the artist.
That's
There's a point structure that would break that down.
and you got to pay for damaged records, returns, all that other stuff. You got to pay for that.
Right.
You got to pay for all that. That comes out of your money.
Right.
So
It does come out the recoupment. Yep.
that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
So if the records are damaged on the way to the store, I mean, I understand that should be both of us. But I mean, the point I'm trying to make is the record company was making a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Now, because of streaming, I heard every million streams is, well, no, not every million. Every certain amount of million streams is platinum. Not
Right.
1 million streams.
nah.
A gazillion million streams.
Right. It's like 100 million streams, whatever it
it's
is. I
one
wish I had
platinum.
the number
I
off
wish I
the
had
top of my
numbers.
head.
I'm gonna
But
bring
it's
up the numbers though.
I'm gonna give y'all a number because I remember I talked about it.
but it's
If
a
you can look up that on a computer right there.
but it's a ridiculous amount of streams you need.
Yeah. So now.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so now we have to make money another way. So
Right.
they're making money when they put it on a video game, when they put it in a movie,
Right.
when they put it on a commercial, when they put it on NBA, highlights and whatever else. So they're gonna make sure your record is being
Right.
used.
And that's why the
all
artist
over.
now has to figure out other things to do. Like, like if
shows,
if
yeah.
you're the record label and then you make me famous, I know that I'm not gonna make money off of the streaming, right? So I might make a little bit of money, but 9 times out of 10, I'm not making money off the streaming. So what I need to do is turn myself into a business. You already put all this money into me. Now everyone knows who I am
Yeah.
on a, you know what I mean, on a national or international level. So now I need to take it a step further and I need to figure out what I'm going to do to make money.
Merch.
And that might be merch. That might be a content series that I'm doing.
Yeah.
That might be a tour that, you
But
know what I
see,
mean?
contractually, depending on
It
the
depends
level,
what the contract is.
what level of artist you are. That's why I always say you have no leverage. You are nothing without leverage.
Right.
When you step to a label or a label steps to you and you don't have leverage, you don't have bargaining power.
Right.
You have leverage, you have bargaining power. So now you could say, listen, yeah, I'll sign with you, but you're not getting my merch.
Right.
I'll sign with you, but you're not going to get this. And if you do get this, you're going to get this percentage. We have to negotiate.
Right.
I'm going to get a larger percentage. Or I'm not going to do business with you. I'll go elsewhere. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can get merch. You can make a lot of money off of merch.
A lot of money.
If you have your everything in order as far as with the merch. You know what I'm saying? You can make a lot of money. Because, at the end of the day, you're the vehicle. And the merch is not going to sell without the vehicle.
Right. And that's kind of why I feel like even people who love music, for example, like a Rihanna, I feel like Rihanna will never make another record because it doesn't benefit her to make another record because she makes so much money on other avenues. Mm-hmm. She has a family now. It's time consuming to make a record, promote a record, tour a record, where she can just do a lingerie line and make $1 billion. You can do a makeup line and make this amount of money. It's, so it doesn't benefit her to be like, all right, let me put an album out and get this streaming money.
Well, you could be, Beyonce's doing it.
Beyonce's doing it, but Beyonce's,
Actually, fellas, she got a record dropping Friday for the Smurfs movie. Rihanna.
Oh, she does have a record drop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I came across the announcement today, early online. And by the way, fellas, I got the streaming numbers.
Okay. What's the streaming numbers?
Okay, so check it out. 150 streams is one track sale. 150 streams.
Okay.
1,500 streams is 10 track sales, like an album.
Okay.
1,500 streams. Okay.
Now it takes 750 million streams to go gold.
Wow.
1.5 billion streams to go platinum.
Wow.
Those are the numbers.
1.5 billion streams to go platinum. Now imagine who went. Nelly went diamond. Eminem went diamond.
50
Biggie
Cent.
went diamond.
50 Cent went
50 Cent went diamond. Imagine what it would take.
Fugees went diamond.
Yeah, imagine what it would take now
Right.
for them to
That
go
was all
down.
physical numbers.
Right.
Exactly. crazy.
That's insane.
That's insane. And then you know who's benefiting off that? Spotify,
Yep.
Apple.
Yep.
You know, it's crazy because I'm like, I don't even know. Is JC still involved with Tidal?
I
Or did
believe he
sell
sold
his
it.
shares?
He sold it.
I believe he sold it, so I believe he's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, it's a lot of. You can make money off of shows.
Shows you can make
You
money.
can make
off
money
of.
off of shows. I mean, but you have to.
You can
know,
make money off of walkthroughs. You don't.
Yeah.
You go to the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. It's different things you can make money off of. Large amounts of money.
Yeah. I mean, it's never going to stop. The music business is going to be here. Now, how you handle your business, that determines
Yeah.
on who you put around you.
So do you feel like streams like kind of like killed the music business? I mean, we know it's still going,
Did
but
it kill the music business?
Yeah, it's harder to sell records, guys. It's crazy.
It's
right with the streams.
You know what I
is,
say? Too much access killed the music business. Too much. I don't know where that. I don't know where they started that. Like, it's like you shouldn't be able to communicate or see an artist that much.
Right.
I think less is more. You should be able to, like, okay, if just say for instance, ASAP Rocky was walking up Jamaica Avenue.
Right.
He would shut the avenue down.
Right.
Back in the day. Now it's like, oh, I saw him last night on Instagram.
Yeah,
I saw him on YouTube.
People will pour their camera out and record them, and then that's about it. It wouldn't be like it.
No,
it
but
used to be.
These artists put so much
that's what I mean.
content out there.
Right.
And it's like you're not.
They feel like they know you.
You're no longer a unicorn.
Right. So now that's why you have people like in your business like telling you who you are.
Yeah.
Because you see it so much. They feel like I know you. I see you every day of the week, all day.
Yeah.
The speak is gone.
Yeah.
Right.
We saw Rakim. If you
Oh
saw
my
Rakim
God!
in the street,
Come
that
on,
was a big
come on,
deal.
come on, man. I think that streaming that was going to happen. It's just
Right.
you know what's crazy. I don't understand why someone hasn't without Apple, right?
Right.
You can't. As far as pirating music, it's hard if you say, yo, this is it's only going to go on Apple, and you can't. I can't. Well, it's kind of hard. I was going to say you can't. The accessibility to a record is not. You know how I remember back in the days when they used to pirate music, you had to wait and wait
Like
until
LimeWire,
you had to wait, and then LimeWire and Napster came out. Now people just get music so frequently. So I'm saying to myself, I know if I don't pay for my Apple account, I'm going to lose my music.
Right.
Right? And I can't send you music because if you don't have Apple,
You can't play it.
you can't play it. So why isn't someone saying, listen, you're going to put it on this platform. No one can pirate it. If they do pirate it, I remember when Sony got sued for this. If you try to send somebody some music, make a copy of this CD, it would say shh. Remember that? Sony got sued.
Yeah.
Because it's like, once I buy it, it's mine. I can do whatever I want to do with it.
Right.
But they got sued because, they were trying to figure out a way to stop people from
sharing music.
Yeah, sharing music. And I think that's a cool idea because that's my intellectual property and you're just giving it away for free to all of your friends. So 10 people can get together and buy one album and just share it.
Right.
That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But the way it is now, the way technology has evolved, there's nothing you can do about that. Unless you're an independent artist and you're like, I'm only dropping my album on this website. Like, this is it. You got to go to my website, buy the album,
But once I buy it.
Which you have to be a certain caliber of artist to even do that. Because now, to be honest, like, okay, so I don't really care about your album because it's 5 other dudes that sound like you that's going to drop anyway. So I don't have to go buy your album because it's 10 other people that sound exactly like you. So I'll just stream that album and won't listen to yours. So you're not that important that I need to go to your website.
The question is not has streaming killed the industry, but has technology killed the music industry?
That's what technology has murdered the music industry.
It gives everyone.
But it's good and bad. So the technology is good. It moved, in a way that we can share music and listen to music in that way. But it's a really bad thing in the fact of trying to make money off the music for the artist.
Well,
it's really bad.
Well, I'm talking about from the perspective of when you remember when you used to go to the studio.
Right.
Man, you had to go to Chunk King, Hit Factory, Electric Lady, Platinum Island,
D&D.
all these, D&D, all these studios. You had to have some money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, you had to have money to get a reel-to-reel. And a reel-to-reel was like $175 just for the reel.
Right.
Right, a 2-inch reel, $175. Then you had to pay for studio time. D&D was like what, $75, $80, $90 an hour, right? And then Hit Factory, Chunk King, Electric Late, $100 plus
and then that was
an hour.
And then you got to think that was early. The further it got in, the more expensive. Once these studios got more like where it was like popular artists recording in these studios, they all upped their prices.
But what I'm saying, but that was a standard,
right?
$150, $175, $200 an hour just to go in there. So you had to
minimum
have money.
3 hours.
Yeah, you had to go have money to even record in the studio.
Right.
And now because it's so accessible,
I can hook it up to my MacBook.
And now I make music. And now the quality of music is lower because you're not going to go to Chunk King or Hit Factory or any of these studios unless you really knew that this was worth recording.
Right.
You got to know this is worth recording, so I'm going to spend this money. Now I make something in my
room. And even if you thought it was worth recording, right? Well, and you spent your money to go to Hit Factory, once I get in Hit Factory and I start laying it down, even though I paid my money, the people around me are gonna be like, "What is this? Like this is not, you know what I mean? Like you're not up to par to be releasing music yet. Like but they would let you know.
There's a standard, right? But nowadays, and I'm not knocking no kid because there's a lot of talented people out here who's making music. But back in the days, you really have to be that kid.
It was a process. It was a rigorous training you had to go through.
Because they throw around legend and iconic and this and that, like they're so special. And I'm saying to myself, you have one record or maybe two.
Right.
I want to see you 10 years from now.
Right.
I want to see you 10 years from now. That's when you can say, yo, this kid is iconic.
Right.
It's only a few people that are iconic and legends.
Right.
Living legends.
It's only a few.
It's only a few.
It's like a handful. And people
you have to have staying power.
Right.
You have to have that mystique about you that's like, whoa. Like Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, Busta Rhymes definitely.
Busta Rhymes has staying power, not because he's famous, but because he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? Nas, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys, Ludacris, have been in the game damn near 20, if not more.
You're right. Jay-Z. And these guys could still record music in this era and make a dent. Like it could, you know.
But the thing about it is...
But then you have some people, too, that are within the era that you could say, like, oh, like I could see that this person is going to be a legend.
Who's that?
Like a Kendrick Lamar.
Of course.
Going to be a legend. Like a Drake is going to be a legend.
Of course.
I can't believe I'm saying that, but I always give Drake his props. No matter how much I don't agree with,
man.
You know what I mean? But I give him his props.
You can't
he's going to go down and they're going to be like, he's a legend. Nicki Minaj.
You know what I'm saying?
With Nicki, we need a new project. I don't know what's going on, but with that, we need a project.
But at the same time, technology, because of that, Melodyne, you know what I'm saying? Auto-tunes, all this helps artists sing. Right. Artists don't really, cultivate their craft. They don't go to get vocal lessons.
Right.
Like if you're going to be a singer, get some vocal lessons.
Right. They don't have to do that anymore.
But you don't have to do that. But see, it turns out when they go to do a live show, and the mics go off, because I've seen a situation where the sound went off, or only the mic was working. It was like technical issues, and they started singing.
Because a lot of times they'll just try to play that backtrack over it.
Yeah.
But if that backtrack skips or that backtrack messes up and it goes out,
sing, now you got a Milli Vanilli situation.
You got to turn around and tell the DJ.
You
got to tell the DJ to start it over, because you can't. You know what I mean?
Nah.
You can't go a cappella and keep the show going.
Yeah.
Because that's not your voice.
So you said al cappella?
A cappella.
You said al.
I said. Did I say al cappella?
You said al cappella.
Shout out to my cousin Al.
You said Al.
Shout out to my cousin Al.
You said Al.
Yeah, because this what happened, right?
Nah.
This what? No. My cousin Al really invented that back in the day when we was in the hood. He was, the beat stopped, right?
What is he talking about?
The beat stopped. And then my cousin Al kept going.
Yeah, it's funny you caught that shit because I heard it too. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
like,
huh?
Then my cousin kept going, and he was like, "Oh, it's Al. You know, I'm gonna call this Al Capella." And then I don't know how it got to acapella, but that's where I know the original where it came from. So Al Capella.
Only Al I know is the Alchemist.
Oh, Alchemist is nice.
Yeah, Alchemist is nice.
Yeah, Alchemist is
Speaking
nice.
of Alchemist, he's got a whole album he's producing for Erykah Badu that's coming.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah. Mhm.
Shout out.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the level of quality and the level but basically level of quality that people accept now,
Right.
the bar is so low. It's very low. And I'm hearing people say, oh yeah, he could sing, he could really sing. And I'm like, he can't sing, kid.
Right.
If you go to a live show, he's gonna have a problem.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with the mics and levels and this and that, or my voice. I need some tea. You don't need tea. I've seen many of people back in the day show. Many of people go in a record company and be like, "Oh, I need tea." You don't need tea. I seen a girl wake up out of bed,
Right.
go pick her up, and I said, "You ready?" She starts singing,
Right.
straight out of bed. No tea. No tea.
No tea.
That's just
No
a
tea and
go-to
crumpets.
to say I'm not ready.
Right.
I need my tea. You don't need
You
nothing.
know who's not an exception to that rule?
Oh.
T-Pain. I seen him do a live.
Oh no, T-Pain can really
is
sing.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
T-Pain is one of the T-Pain is
Yeah,
the
people-
truth, man.
Fire.
Yeah.
But T-Pain makes more money off of streaming, live streaming, than he makes money off of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's out there doing his thing.
He makes more money, right, creating content,
Yeah.
than he does off of
Yeah,
music.
but T-Pain is phenomenal.
Well, you know, I was watching like David Banner was saying like he was one of the people that was trying to stop, you know, streaming from going where it was going. Like he was like saying he was trying to like make it more like structured and where the artists get more, and everybody was telling him like, shh, like keep your mouth closed. What's about to happen is good for everybody. And he was like, and it turned out that it was only good for the record labels. So, you know, he was like, it was a few of them, and then everyone was telling him, you know, keep your mouth shut. It's about to go in a good direction.
it could be done, but you know, as long as there's a dollar out here, it's never going to be done.
Yeah. So,
You know what I'm saying?
do you think the music business will ever get back to where it was as far as the artists, like record sales?
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
It's gonna evolve. Everything goes around in a circle, and the people that accept music, or the people that really, because there's a lot of great singers out here, there's a lot of great artists out here, and they're not gonna accept nonsense, man.
Right. It's got to be a way that they got to, you know, eventually get
you
their
mean
rights
like streaming?
back.
Or are you talking about streaming?
I'm talking right. I'm talking about
I don't
like
know.
streaming,
I don't-
hard sell. Like, is it a way you think the artist is gonna get back to where? Well, not back to, because the artist really never made a ton of money, like off of just record sales.
No, you know
but
why?
the artist made a lot more money than they do now.
It's never gonna change. You know why? As long as these record companies are being backed up, these publicly traded record companies.
Yeah, it's true.
So they have tons of money to give artists.
It's true.
Think about this. It was an artist she got signed for $25,000.
Right.
The budget was $25,000, and I said $25,000. That's no money. That's nothing. I can give her a deal for that.
Right.
They was signing.
It's because you used to send $1 million deals,
but they were
$2
signing
million
7
deals
to 8, 9 artists
at once.
a day.
Wow.
A day.
Right.
Think about that. That's nothing.
Right.
An artist you don't want to sign, somebody else will come in here. We're going to sign it for $25,000. They're going to have our logo. They're going to be happy. And then whatever sticks. So we signed 30 artists in a month. We're going to throw it out there. 5 or 6 stick. We're good.
Right.
That's a great one. Because those
That's
5
true.
or 6 will make up for the $25,000 that we gave to
Right.
these 30 of those artists. What is that? That's 250.
Right.
250.
And then-
that's $750,000 we spent in a month's time.
Right. And then if one of those artists figure out a way to actually make it out, we still gonna get paid, because now they still signed to us.
Oh yeah. Well,
So either way, we're good either way.
I mean, these record companies are smart, man.
Yeah.
Record companies smart, and I don't knock them. It's a business, man. You
It
just
is.
got to understand yourself.
And then that's why I said, like, as a artist, you got to be your own business as well.
Yeah.
And figure out, you know, what you can do outside of that record contract to generate capital,
That's a
which
fact.
is a lot of things. You could do a lot of things. Like you say, you just need to sit down and negotiate what they get, what they don't get. If it's only music, this is it. Everything you get is music, but I get everything outside of music that I create outside of music. I get to keep myself.
Yeah, that's true.
And if it was me, that's the deal I would take. I would be like, you know what? You can keep everything from the records I put out.
I'm not gonna say that.
I will.
Why?
If it's a big enough deal. Because if it's a big enough deal, they're gonna push me as hard as they can. So as long as I can get into the public's eye, I can make something happen. I'm gonna have merch out here. I'm gonna be doing tours. I'm gonna take other artists with me on tour.
But they might do an Allstate commercial that might last 15 years, man.
No,
I'll do the commercial
I'll do the Allstate commercial. They could play the music in the Allstate
Yeah,
commercial.
that's what I'm saying. The music is played
It's
every
true.
day, 10, 15 times a day on every network.
That's okay.
You're not getting a dime of that?
No, that's okay. We'll run it out to a certain amount of time. 10 years, I get everything back.
If that, you could
In
negotiate
15 years, I get everything back. Other than that, you keep everything for the 15 years. After that, I get it all back.
I gotta evaluate that.
If I'm Bad Bunny, I'll give you everything. I'm creating Bad Bunny underwear. I'm doing tours. I'm doing a tour in Puerto Rico. I'm doing a tour in Colombia.
That's not a bad name, man, for some underwear.
I'm doing world tours. I'm doing, I got glasses.
Yeah.
My name on it. Everything.
So tell me this, they own the rights to it? You don't own the rights
The rights to what?
to your music?
No, they can have the rights to the music.
See, that's where you messed up.
No, they can have it.
That's where you messed up.
As long as I get it back.
No. If they own the rights, you can't perform that record unless we get a percentage of it.
I mean, you're right about that. You're right about that. I ain't even thinking about it. It's a percentage because you own my music.
And you can't.
So you're right.
You want to perform that? You got to negotiate. Nah.
Damn. And you know what that is?
That's why I'm a manager, and you're an artist.
And I'm an artist.
And that's the price of fame, man.
We talk about fashion, art, music,
And entertainment.
and we out of here.
One piece.
Damn, it got me. See? This is how you get caught up, artists.